The final name of my final project for the Greenway Foundation Fellowship is called SustainWP, and it's a limited podcast series about digital sustainability and WordPress. But I don't want to get ahead of myself, and I would like to give you some context before I start rambling about my things. So the context would be, I will be talking a lot about WordPress. So probably it would be nice if I just put together a few nice facts about WordPress. So it's the most popular CMS or content management system. And basically it's running more than 1/3 of the websites that are right now in internet. So as you can imagine, with this market share, if you achieve small changes on it, it can have a big impact. So that was one of the things that appealed me from the very start. Also, it's an open source project that is free, as in freedom also. I like how Nora put it before. And its motto is democratize publishing, which I think is pretty cool. And on top of that, it has a quite open and vibrant community. Having said that, there is always issues and there is always things that can get better. So the ones that I wanted to address or tackle during this project were mainly two. The lack of awareness on digital sustainability, both of the community and the users. They don't really make that link between the impact of internet and the impact that can have in the physical world, let's say. And then also the carbon tunnel vision, which mainly equals sustainability to the CO2 emissions. And that's not the whole picture, as you can imagine, as you can see in the diagram. So the project idea behind it was, it had few aims behind it. One of them was to raise awareness on digital sustainability, bring a more holistic point of view of sustainability. So not only talking about CO2, that's now it's quite popular, but it's only one part that we should be talking about. Also spark a conversation about this topic inside the community. And also being a bit naughty, trying to use WordPress also as an excuse to introduce broader digital issues to the community. So using WordPress as an excuse, you can bring new ideas so we can also talk about it. As it happened with Catherine, we start with an idea and all these aims remain the same in SustainWP as a podcast, but it all started as an idea of a workshop. So the idea was to tackle these things inside a workshop that I would run in a WordPress event, and then I will leave it documented so more people could do it over time. That was a quite optimistic point of view. Not my part, I was going to do it, but the afterwards. So there was a point that I realized in the talking with Hannah that maybe making a podcast could arrive to more people on the community and therefore have a bigger impact in the WordPress project. So once I saw all the benefits, I went for it. And right now it's already available, the website that is SustainWP with the 2 first episodes. The idea is to have, so it's not going to be a running podcast, it's going to be a limited series. It's going to have 8 episodes, and the idea is to release 1 each week. I will explain a bit later why, the reason behind it. Of course, when I made the website, I kept in mind sustainability. So after running an eco-grader, I was pretty happy to see that it's quite clean, let's say, environmental friendly in this case. Okay, so if I would have to summarize the learnings in one sentence, would be a lot, but you are probably expecting more specificity in my answer. So I will go through them. Probably the bigger one, it's that sustainability is really an umbrella term, and a lot of things can go under that. Indeed, from the environmental impact of making software or hardware, and also how the same can impact in the social and economic part, because there is also a huge link between it. And also talking about open source projects like WordPress, the social and economic part are quite important if we want to keep the project ongoing, so for the longevity. So that was also really interesting to investigate and learn more about it. Also, sustainability means different things to different people. And I think we should keep it in mind when we are communicating about it, and also ask to the people what that means, so we can start putting even more things under this umbrella. Okay, at least that's my point of view. And of course, during this learning process, I really feel more knowledgeable. And thanks to the format also of the project, I also built a stronger network of people that are around digital sustainability, which I think is pretty cool for me, of course, but also I think it can have a nice impact or a good impact in the WordPress community where I'm pretty active. So there is a win-win for everyone. And then also another nice or interesting learning point was being flexible. So my initial idea of the workshop was living in my head even after the midterm presentation. So there was a lot of things invested already there, but I really saw the benefits of changing it. So it was really nice to talk with some people, and some of them were the fellowship organizer, as Catherine. And it was super nice to, after giving my very motivated speech of, I think this is going to be much better, it was really nice to hear that makes sense, go for it. So that was also super nice to have this safe space to go for it and do this big change in the end part of the project. So the change, what changed for me and for the project? For this part, I really have to talk about how I live in parallel way and very intertwined the creation of the sustainability team of WordPress and the project, because they were really in parallel. And when I started the fellowship, there was an initiative of making an official team, but it was just an initiative. At that point, I was behind it with other awesome people. Indeed, some of them are here today watching. And the nice thing is that during the process, since I was learning things for the fellowship, but I was also attending to the meetings of the initiative, we became somehow an official team in summer. That was like a huge achievement. So because it's really cool that now that WordPress can leader somehow in sustainability, and maybe others can follow us. And I mean, it's great for the whole ecosystem. And also, when we were writing the roadmap of everything we want to do, that's a lot, because the problem of having a sustainability umbrella term is like a lot of things go under that. But writing the pillars, we already did with the 3 pillars in mind. It was not only my idea, there were more people waiting on that idea and yeah, on board with that. But I think there's been a lot of interactivity between what I learned in the WordPress project and the fellowship. So that was really nice to have the space of having these two things going together. And of course, as I perform almost all the interviews by now, it's more than 10 people that are experts on WordPress community, but also in digital space, sustainability digital space. So it was super nice to talk with them. I learned a lot talking about it. And another nice thing that almost all of them told me is that for them was also really nice to have a space to talk about it. So to put their thoughts together and share it, because it was also helpful for them, because there is not so much space talking about this topic. So that was super cool to hear. And also it was a good moment to explain them what the Green Web Foundation was and what cool things you are already doing. So that was also nice. So moving forward, I would like to see my project as a starting point. Indeed, as I explained, I'm going to continue publishing episodes, and I will share it in social media and maybe other podcasts. So there is some cross-pollination, and with the idea behind of engaging the community, WordPress community, and the idea of living 1 week between the episodes, since they are going to be monographic, is that people can go to the comments or to whatever social media they are more comfortable with and share their ideas. So I would like to spark somehow some conversation about it. And of course, it also serves a double purpose. One of it is attract to people to join the WordPress sustainability team, which is quite new, and we have a lot of space and cool things that we can do in the future. And the other is to invite people that is already in the WordPress community to apply for the new cohort of the Green Web Foundation Fellowship. Indeed, I already have one of the people I recruit for it is here. Hello, Nora. So I think that there can be a lot of cross-pollination also between the two communities, let's say. And I think that's pretty much it. Thank you.